I have the tap. I need to associate that tap event. So I can say create on create tap, I guess. What should I call it? Create chat room. Maybe I can call it as create chat room. Create chat room, which is again a driver. I don't need any values to be passed because, okay, this is not the place. First thing first, let's go to where we need to create it, which is the presenter. Go to the presentation, add it over here, create chat room driver, and now it will ask me to add it there. So create chat room, which is going to be the create button dot rx dot tab. I just need to drive it. That's enough. So create chat room is now available in my presenter. So like earlier, I had tried to include it in the chat rooms, that use case. Now I need to bring that use case over here as an input. I'm just going to call it as create chat room, and it's going to accept a chat room. We need the module, import models, and this is going to return a UI view controller. This is going to return a single void. Now we will be asked to include that over here. So this is the right place to include it. So we can always call the use cases, and then import that dependency. It is interactor chatroom interactor use case factory dot chatroom interactor. Enough. Pass that. Create chatroom. Create chatroom. Can just say this. That's enough. It should be fine. One more dependency, like I said, which we need is the user details, which needs to be passed through this output. Let's also do that, because without that you cannot create the without that you don't have the creator. So you need that info as well. So I can just say use case factory dot accounts interactor, and then because right now it did not give me an error, because I need to also include it over here, I'm just gonna say profile and just going to point this account interactor. I'm going to correct it there wherever I need it. So it's going to be through this user. I'm going to map it, because I'm going to filter and map it, because I don't need an empty user. $0 is not equal to nil. I'm just checking that. Then I'm mapping and force casting it to a user object. So $0 force cast it. So anyway, because of this map, I know it's not going to give me any problem, because this map is checking for empty or nil. If it is not nil, I can always force cast it to the upper side. Now I need this to be included in the use case, otherwise this error is not going to go off. So I can just say profile, it is an observable user and empty. That should be fine. Now I'm pretty good. So now we can consume this. So we have the tap event available. We can call that within this self dot input dot create chatroom dot map. I'm gonna what do I need? Chatroom, as it's already a driver. I need to modify it to an observable, because I need to consume the other one with latest from self dot use cases dot profile output dot profile. This is what I need to consume. So this is not the only one. We need to combine at least 3 values so that I can use this to create a chat room, because I know I need the subject and subject name and the user details to create it. So how do I do it? I combine at least before this. Okay, I'm going to combine. There are 2 more drivers with me, so I can just say driver dot combine latest and get those input chatroom name and self dot input dot chatroom subject. These two I'm combining, then I'm making it as an observable and getting the latest, and then I can use these two values $0. I can get those two values here. I'm just passing it as, maybe even I can $1. So $1 is going to be the profile of the user. Whatever I need is an email, that's enough. So I can just say creator, and other two, like the name is going to be $0.0. Subject, I'm just converting that signal to a tuple. That's the only thing I'm doing here. It's easier to consume in this way, like name, subject, and the creator. These three information I'm just converting from these signals. So create chat room is the first signal, which is that a tap event of the button. I'm just transforming that into another signal, which is using my chatroom name observable, a driver, and the chatroom subject driver, combining those together and making one signal. And then I am making it as an observable, because the third signal which I need to use it with is a profile, which is an observable, not a driver. Driver always runs in the main thread, and it's more for user interaction side, and observable is what you need to send, maybe make a HTTP request or something. So I combined these four signals and made this one, which is like the name, subject, and creator, which is needed to make that HTTP call. Now I can do a flat map, because I have all these three values, and flat map because HTTP call is going to return a new observable, which is single void. I know that. So I'm just not doing a map, because map is only effective when you want to transform your current observable into a new form. Let's say my in this case it was create chatroom got transformed into chatroom name subject, but when I'm making an HTTP request and it's giving me a new observable, at that point I need to do a flat map. So I know these are the three parameters I'm going to receive: name, subject, and creator. I hope it compiles. No, it does not. Tuple takes it as an argument, I guess. Arguments. Okay, it needs a return type, I guess. That's the reason. Single void. This is fine. So it's asking me to return. So for that, the presenter, I hope now I have the create function. So I can always say, okay, not self. I can pass the use cases over here, and then I can say use cases dot input create chat room, and this is going to accept all these three parameters. No, it's actually going to accept a model, which is the chat room. So maybe it's a good idea that I can transform this over here as a model, because I have these three name, subject, and creator values available here. I can always transform this map. Again, I'm using here because I know I'm gonna convert this signal into a new signal. Not that it's a totally new observable, but it's a new signal. So I can always say chat room with name, subject, creator. I can pass these things. So is it even fine if I just say, will it work? I'm just checking if I am doing something like this. No, I did not. Or even this. I don't think even this will work. Okay, it needs the whole thing to be passed. So let's do that. So I can say $0. Okay, it's $0 dot. I think it would have worked if I had just not had all these. If I had sent it like this as three params. Let's check that once before I modify anything. Chatroom name, subject. Oh, I had a comma, I guess that's the reason. Did not work. Use of unresolved identifier chat room. Why is it saying that? I have a model import. Okay, let's build the whole thing. Name $0.0. Okay, it's not going to be like that. $0.0 subject $0.1 creator $0.2. Yeah, that works. So it's now sending a chat room object to this one. So that's the reason this is giving me an error. I don't need the whole thing. I can just pass. Now $0 is my chat room. So that's the model which I will receive here. I can just pass that. That's it. So this flat map is also fine. So even I can compile it. I mean, I can even modify it in this way where I can get rid of this thing. And all of this. Yeah, that also works. So it knows that it's going to receive a chat room, and the parameter to this create chat room is going to be a chat room. So it identifies that dependency of the or that init. So it's just accepting that. Flat map is working now. So that is going to be the create. And once that create is complete, I can just say map. That's my empty signal, because chat room creation is going to return, like if you see here, use cases, chat room is going to return a single void. That's my response. So if I map it, that's what I get, an empty response over here. And I don't need to do much with that empty response. So after this step, maybe it's a good idea that I dismiss this view, that because chat room creation is successful, so I can dismiss it. So do we have something for dismiss? I'm not showing that good error message and successful message screen as yet. That's for the next episode. I'm gonna do this right now, where on creation I'm gonna dismiss this view. So I don't have anything for dismiss. I'm gonna add a function for dismiss, function dismiss. That's enough. It's going to give me dismiss, where I know that view model is with me, view controller is with me. So I can just say view controller dot dismiss, animated true, completion nothing. So that's enough. So now I can call that dismiss within the response here. So I just need to grab hold of the router over here and then make the call, router dot dismiss. That's enough. And then I just translate this into a driver as driver, drive with nothing. If there is an error handling, I'm going to take up after this one, because then obviously I'm going to show you if during the create case, if there is any kind of error which is coming back, then I need to handle that handling is going to happen within somewhere here. I'm going to show it. Even the problems, if you handle it somewhere over here, I'm also going to show that, because that's also something tricky. Dot drive dispose by bag. Don't have a bag yet, so we'll create that bag. Import private let bag dispose bag. Should be fine. So now you're going to see the creation part. It's going to create for sure, because we already have the logs, and we can even see the response after create chat room. So let's even keep breakpoints where we get the response of 200 and all, and where the parsing is happening. So even you can see that parser which I had created right now, where that parsing is going to happen. That is going to happen within chatroom service, and you have a parsable throwable. It's going to give you a 200 if it is a proper creation. So let's try this now. I'm gonna call it, it's already here because the parser is working for other cases. Let's say this is now called for fetching all the chat rooms, so it's going through the same parser t.self, and maybe I don't know whether it is going to print t.self. What is a t.self? I don't think it can. That's fine, because this was supposed to be for that case. Now we are in the chat room, so let me call it as let's connect chat room. It's not yet enabled, it's going to get enabled now. Let's connect chat room to discuss tech stuff. I can just, that's my title. Gonna hit this create. It did not go through. Let's check. Did we wire everything end to end? That's what I'm assuming I did, but I think something is missing somewhere. Let's go back. Some signal did not go through, I guess. I'm pretty much sure that's because the profile is not stored somewhere. That's the reason. So there is a modification which we might have to do right now. Go to the signal part. This is where it is happening. Not here, in the presenter. In create, it should have come. There is no place where we can see it, so I'm gonna keep okay, maybe after this profile, let's see what, let's keep a debug over here. Create chat room, false. This should fire. Create chat room button, tap. I think it's because this profile is not available anywhere. That's stored, nothing, stored nowhere. That's the reason it's not picking that up. Let me verify that. I think that I had fixed it in the existing code. This is firing now. So dummy, just checking, tap, nothing happened. So create, this thing is subscribed. After that nothing is happening. It's just saying subscribe. That subscription is happening anyway because this process gets called, it's subscribed, but signals are not coming through over here, but it might just reach until here because these things has values if you want to see. So this is a good debug session where you can understand what is going on. If something is blocked, some value is not there, then this is going to obviously happen. I'm going to clear these things. Subscribed. See, it's actually creating that. This is not the one. Let's do it once more. It's sending that signal, but it's coming until here, but it's not propagating after this point because profile is empty. So we need to fix that, because I know the profile is only getting loaded when I go to the profile section. That needs a fix. So let me see what is the fix that I did. That's happening within the do next right now. That is the only change. So I need to go to the window validate function. This is where everything is happening. So if you can see on direct launch, relaunch, when it goes to the chat rooms, it's not actually fetching any profile. So whatever fetch profile which was happening, let's say within the profile, we need to maybe move it out. Like within the presenter, I had the fetch profile code over here. So we might have to get rid of this right now, because we need to actually make it happen even before around the place where okay, this code is going to move to another place. So this parameters which we are passing over here are all not required. It's not going to happen within profile, but within right now it's going to happen within Windows. So window, let's go to the window presenter. I'm going to include this over here, fetch profile. I think fetch profile, and it's just going to be a single, I guess, user. That's the change we are going to make. Import models. And this is triggering an error in window where we need the fetch profile now. fetch profile, and with it is already there within this one. It's a different kind of what? Let me check. Fetch profile. It's single user. It's going to be this one, single user. It's giving an error still. Let's see. Fetch profile, presenter, fetch profile. Off use case. Why is it giving an error? So single user, single user. That is going to be a completable. Is that a change I made? Fetch profile. Okay, it's within interactor, so it's going to be a completable. That's the change. So this should be completable. Now it should be fine. So wherever we are going to call it is in the presenter, where we are validating and going to the launch route to Chatroom. So somewhere is this place is where we need to fetch the profile. Other cases anyway we don't need to do it because profile save is happening somewhere else. Along with the login or sign up, we are getting the profile information. So I'm going to do an on next over here. I'm not going to utilize that value, but then I'm going to pass the use cases over here. So this is a small bit of change which I had to do. Fetch profile dot I need to write the whole thing over here. Subscribe, dispose by, we need to pass it back over here. Back. So this is going to fetch that profile for us. So this is happening within the validate itself. I guess this should fix that. Let's again relaunch and see whether, I think this now we should get that signal. So let's keep that breakpoint for create Chatroom creation. User settings service, Chatroom service. Okay, we need that parser. Should see whether 200 is happening or not. Creation. Let's connect Chatroom. Let's connect Chatroom to discuss our tech stuff. Hit this. Yeah, so we get a call response 201. That means the Chatroom is created. End it. It's dismissed. So I'm going to remove this and see. Let's go to our server and see whether the Chatroom is created or not. So this is not the server. This is my server. I have the chat rooms list. Still processing. And no members. Okay, it's created. Let's connect Chatroom to discuss tech stuff. It's stored in your database. So this is working now. So creation of Chatroom is working. Now whatever we need to do is we need to show some user-friendly message on creation of Chatroom, or if it is failing, you need to also show that and allow the user to retry that or cancel if it does not want to create it. After that, we'll take up something where we set up the WebSocket to actually send this notification to all the logged in users saying a new Chatroom is created if you want. And so that will actually trigger a sync request on the other end. So I'm going to show it maybe with running 2-3 instances of the same app in simulators and show you whether it is getting synced or not in the upcoming episodes. I guess a couple of episodes will be enough to actually cover this much. So I'm coming back with those 2 episodes pretty soon.